welcomed captain Stephen Kernahan back into the side, and we pick up play at the start of the first quarter. Your commentators Bruce McAvaney, Malcolm Blight and Don Scott.
Start of the game at Princes Park. The Blues to kick to the left of screen. Carlton and Hawthorn on a perfect winter's day. Big crowd, full house. Madden, Bradley got a touch. Crawshay back to Gleeson, who's back on the team today, so's Kernahan. His handball missed Pearce, tapped out by Clappe in the Hanna direction. Didn't he cop one early last week? Collins just dropped it down. Jarman's hand's good. Tallis under a bit of pressure, round the body, back into the centre square. Important ball here early to be won. Taylor over the top. Crawshay, too slow. Hudson's on. Kuda Phoenix has got hold of him. Handball by Dean to Bradley. Bradley to Hanna. Good build up by the Blues. Mistake by Hudson. Hanna will chip it to Kernahan. He's got it.
There's a bit of a problem there, Bruce. Oh, Stephen, steady down. Two Carlton players by themselves.
This will test him though, Don. In the pocket from about 50. Great to see him back, Kernahan. So the captain in the first minute of the game. Nice kick right there. Hudson sort of punched it away, a half punch. Gleeson can't quite weave his way through. Mitchell turns, spins on the left. Good goal. Well done. He'll like that, Barry. He needs a big game today to keep himself right there as far as the Blues are concerned, and he started quite spectacularly.
Well, it was interesting when that ball came into that full forward position that Madden was definitely held by Crawshay. You see there should have been a free kick paid Madden's way. He used his body well. Mitchell will finally get onto this ball. He picks up a lot of possessions, Barry, but he just doesn't finish off his work. But that time he did finish off his work. Let's hope he continues.
Yes, first goal to Barry Mitchell. Back in the centre. Madden has to sit underneath it and wait. The ball falls free, out wide, onto the wing. Running onto it is Mackay. Kicks quickly up forward. Hanna by himself in space. Met by Holland. Blocks up. Kernahan plays on quickly. Oh! Langford steals it from him. Kernahan tries to make up with a recovery. Back to Ratton. Ratton through. Second goal to the Blues.
Was simply unbelievable for experienced players, Kernahan, Langford and Collins, to do what they did in that passage of play is unbelievable. Cut off by Kernahan. Look at the Collins, fumbles the ball. Langford again fumbles and cut out by Ratton. Unbelievable stuff.
Mitchell off for the blood rule, John. He was bleeding after that first goal, and he's come off. So it'll be delayed O'Sullivan to come on. Great start for Carlton here with a couple of goals in a couple of minutes.
Hanna's got away on 2 occasions, Bruce. Ray Jenkins got the job there.
Well, they took a long time to get a goal last week, didn't they, Carlton? They haven't taken so long today. Madden gets the tap out. Hanna again. Tallis getting his second kick, not bad either, gives Taylor every chance. Really should have taken it. Camporelli kept in there. Taylor's little one went nowhere. Pritchard crunched fairly. The umpire says, here's O'Sullivan. Free kick now against Pritchard.
No. Well, Dean really did lay that heavy bump. Came up, remonstration, and it was Pritchard who got caught. Dean certainly the aggressor.
From half back centre wing here, Dean. Neat low kick. Kernahan the target. Collins stood his ground pretty well in the front. Langford crashes through. Madden tries to tap it out. McGuinness and Pritchard together. Good skills, yes. A very good handle actually by McGuinness. Off balance to Pritchard to half forward. Getting back was Sexton. Not paid. Christou worried out of it. Gibson out of play. Half-forward bone in the action there for Hawthorn. They trail by a couple of goals with Shannon Gibson. His first season of AFL. Madden setting himself with Crawshay. You think that Madden would be relishing this, getting a run early. Allen's been doing a lot of the ruck work. Dean, it was a hot ball. Pritchard again, quick kick to full forward. Dunstall gives it off. Stevenson kicks a goal. That's a good reply. Just what the Hawks needed.
Blight's back on the couch and in full voice. Listen in tomorrow night for Talking Footy.
The difference. Madden's been good early. Crawshay has to stand underneath this. Retains possession of the ball. Quick hands ends up with Holland. Kicks it out wide on his left foot. Going to ground on the pack is Gibson. Falls out short again. And Randall Bone caught with the ball high and will accept the free kick. The former Crow on true centre wing looks back in towards centre half forward. Packer plays Taylor in front over the back to Hudson. Caught with the footy. Terrific desperation by Dean. Ball comes out to Pritchard, shoots at goal. Silvani and Hudson's over the line, touched. So first point of this game goes to Darren Pritchard. 1 goal, 1 Hawthorn, 2 goals Carlton.
O'Sullivan off and Barry Mitchell's come back on having had that blood on his forehead attended to.
Silvani short, danger. Ratton had to win it one out against Tallis. Gee, had some confidence in him, Silvani. Ratton switches it out wide. Gets to Whitehead and half back. Whitehead looks for Spalding and centre wing. Holland goes with him. Spalding in the front spot, fell over. Hudson's left-hand handball, reasonable. McGuinness, Swiss turns, left foot not so good, but he's under pressure. Now Pearce away. Looks for Kernahan. Langford with him. Goes early, Langford. Kernahan gets his hands on it, tries to push it in the direction of Hanna. Collins gets back. On the left now, Collins under pressure. Out towards half-back. Holland sits and waits. Ratton with him, with Koutafidis, and I think Holland will be pretty happy here to see the ball go out of play.
Because it was a 3-on-1 situation and Holland really had to do something there, otherwise Carlton could have taken advantage.
Bit of Silvani about Holland, isn't it? The way he looks and moves, similar physique. He's at the beginning of his career, and Silvani right into the heart of his. Koutafidis. Mitchell got a little one in the back. No free kick. Jarman there. He's getting a haircut more like his brothers every week, as there'll be a ball up.
Yes, ball up half forward, 65 metres from the Carlton goal. Packer plays around it. Umpire Andrew Coates puts it down with Scoop and Westgarth, the other umpires. Holland accepts the ball from the ruck work. Very cleverly hits it forward. The hand pass misses. Ratton, terrific kick in towards Madden. Broken off by Clappe. It ends up with Crawshay. Crawshay over to Jenke. Jenke out wide to Pritchard. Back to Jenke. Terrific smother there by Camporelli. Unfortunately can't gain possession. It ends up back with Pritchard. Pritchard back towards the Mark Graham direction. Straight through his hands. Quick handball over to McGuinness. McGuinness has Hudson loose up the ground. Runs to the 50-metre line. Koutafidi clothing and does very well indeed. Also a fantastic tackle from behind there. Taylor pressures right on here early. Back to Bone. First shot at goal for the Hawthorn side, and out of bounds on the full. So Randall Bone, a couple of touches early in the game will do his confidence some good. Just the 13 games, of course, 12 for Adelaide. Kick short finds Mitchell unattended. So Barry Mitchell looks forward and finds Sexton in the middle of the ground, almost finds him.
Under pressure, Collins. Collins tries to hold it up now with McKay. A couple of terrific competitors, those two, aren't they? The 2 5s. Now Gleeson off the ground and O'Sullivan on. Let's hope Gleeson's okay. He's just come back from an injury. Noticed Hudson a moment ago not moving all that freely for Hawthorn. Koutafidis' quick kick to centre half forward. Well played McGuinness. Hanna onto it. Still with Hanna. They'll love this if he kicks it. He has. Well, that'll do Hanna's confidence a world of good. He was a bit shattered last week, shell-shocked, after being hip and shouldered out of it early by Keogh, but he's bounced back strongly so far today.
Well, he played on Winmar last week and really neither player dominated the game, but he has made his mark early by getting out by himself out on that outer flank. But Carlton really are running in numbers at the moment. They're hitting the Hawthorn guys, 2 of them at once.
Well, Carlton have matched their goal tally from last week against St Kilda with 3 in the first 11 or 12 minutes of this game. Neither ruckman really controlled the footy in the air. Many players around this football is forced forward marginally towards Hawthorn. Hudson with a quick kick forward. Coming out to meet it is Silvani and does very well indeed. Tries to set up the play in the middle with a wobbly kick. It falls to Graham onto his left foot. Another ordinary kick. Skills players under pressure here. The ball is very hot at the moment. Camporelli comes in underneath the ball, does well, gets it out wide, runs in the direction of Peter Dean, who suckers it off the ground and out of bounds in the interchange area in front of the Carlton bench. And Carlton lead by 11 points with just under 13 minutes to play in this first quarter.
Hawthorn have made a move. Graham's gone on to Hanna and Jenkins coming up midfield.
Yes, and Camporelli really did park underneath that and really did deserve the free kick too. First at the footy and jumped upon by the Hawthorn players.
Done well in his first season, Camporelli.
Jenkins now with Clappe.
Premiership player in Adelaide, Camporelli with Woodville West Torrens. Good kick too for distance in the Sporting direction. Went early. Well done by Graham because Koutafidis was onto it. The hands had to be quick there because the tackle by Christo was pretty hot. High tackle on Hawthorn, free kick surely. Blue fans went by
the way they tackled Carlton.
Mark Graham at centre wing. So Hawthorn steadying here because the Blues came out strongly, but the Hawks are still in touch early. Hudson wide. Now Dunstall and Silvani are alone together. Now Madden gets back. A wrestle behind Madden. Madden in the front spot. Sexton got rid of it. Again Silvani able to run away. Sweeps the handball to Sporting. The Duke gives it back to Silvani. A hot ball for O'Sullivan. He stood his ground very well. Ratton's handball to Camporelli. Camporelli under pressure. Bradley onto it. Worried out of it in the end. Good contest here. Nothing quite hitting the mark from Carlton's point of view. Probably beginning with the fact that Sporting got hold of it, unable really to get it cleanly. And it was all about a 70-30 from there on in, and Hawthorn did pretty well to hold it up. Mitchell onto it. Jenkins got hold of him. Still Mitchell. Jenkins with him. Taken by Tallis. This gives Dunstall a hope here. Though Silvani works. Oh, great mark, Sexton. That was courage personified. Silvani was having a go with Dunstall. Sexton's kicked it beautifully to Clappe.
Clappe out wide, runs across the wing, looks at options up forward, goes long in the Hanna direction, from behind. Yes.
Well, you could criticise Graham in that occasion. He was in front. He's run off Hanna once. He's back into the pack. Hard to do. But Hanna had the sit.
Yes, it's amazing with players with Pearce and Kernahan back in the side, how other players lift around. He takes the best player on the forward line, and other players just seem to lift. So Hanna, 50 metres. I have seen him kick this far in footy. He is usually a pretty good kick. It's gone long. It is a goal. Therefore, terrific start from Carlton. So Millingham Hanna gets his second and has so far done a very damaging blow.
My word, Malcolm, he is, because of the fact that he's got tremendous pace. But I like the way that Graham moved off him. He got the free kick, Graham, out on centre wing when Mitchell tackled him. So he put the pressure a bit on Hanna. But Hanna showed his great athleticism by that leap and coming up over the back of Graham. It's a problem at the moment, Hanna.
Flying start now for Carlton with that goal. 4 goals to 1-1. Woods running with Bradley in the first term. Mitchell's quick kick to half forward. Collins couldn't quite. Pearce with McGuinness. McGuinness quickly to the boundary line. Will want it to roll out. O'Sullivan after it. It is out of play now. Ratton picking up Darren Jarman. And as I said, Tony Woods running with Craig Bradley. There's O'Sullivan. Hasn't quite been able to consolidate himself, has he? He had that bad knee injury at Waverley Park. In and out of the team, making up the numbers. Flashes of brilliance. Clappe. With him, Darren Jarman. Camporelli. Ratton could kick this. No, goes to Kernahan. Front spot, Langford. Oh, Hannah's going to kick a third. Look at that one, Mill.
Well, he can do no wrong. His third goal. But it was a good effort by Graham because he was outnumbered once again in the middle of the sandwich. He got the ball down. It just didn't run. And here's the kick from Ratton, a high ball. Graham did well to knock it down, but there, Langford overrunning it. He's just having a purple patch, Mill, Hanna.
So the Hawthorn side under siege here at the 15-odd minute mark of this first quarter. 5 goals. Great kicking. Hanna with 3 of them. The star early in the game. And Madden to Mitchell at the start of that play at the centre was just fantastic. Madden again. This time it's pretty well read there by Cooper. Kicks the ball forward, and Christo, dropping back, takes an easy mark. As his Carlton fence quite often does, just gives each teammate an opposition player to run off. And Peter Dean will go back to Christo, and really sharing the football at the moment. Now goes long. The crowd right behind him. Kernahan the target. Hanna almost. Crochet claims the mark. It's raffled at the back. Ends up with Graham on his right foot. And the free kick given down the ground for a high tackle from Kernahan after the ball had left the area. Now Jason Taylor with the football. Out wide, calling for players to go long. Randall Bones will be his target. With him is Mackay. It really is a height disadvantage. Bone does very well indeed to pick the ball up off the ground. Collins runs onto it here. Goes in short towards Dunstall. Over his head, but behind. A terrific mark there taken by Shannon Gibson. Onto his left hand. Over to Stevenson. Second goal. Second for the Hawks.
4 quarters of footy fun and a few surprises in time on. That's Friday Night Football on 7 Sport.
2-1 now Hawthorn, 5 goals Carlton. Stevenson with a couple. Hanna kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes prior to that. Ratton getting lots of touches. Mackay out wide. Graham and Hanna to go for it. Goes off the ground, Graham, but Christo's got hold of it.
Far enough, surely.
Short. Kudafides got it. Was going on. Had a couple running for him. Now short again. Hanna couldn't quite this time. O'Sullivan wanted Clappe. Taken by Mitchell. Clappe. Hanna squeezes it cleverly. Spalding's got it. Well, Hanna's been outstanding. 6 kicks, 3 goals in the first 16, 17 minutes of the game.
Well, he's got it, Earl Spalding. Could go anywhere. Best kick for goal, Earl.
They haven't missed so far, Don, have they? The Blues. Now Spalding from 48 metres. Well, beautiful.
What a start. He's having his best year at centre-half forward, Earl Spalding. He's a real worker. I do not know why Melbourne ever let this man go. He's just a worker. He plays the centre-half back. He can play the centre-half forward. He can do the ruck work at a pinch. He's just a real worker. The only bad part of his game is kicking for goal. But that time, true, he hasn't let the Carlton side down. 6 straight goals.
Yes, back in the centre. Carlton on a roll. If Spalding can kick him from 48 metres out, they really are hot. Mitchell's done this a couple of times already. That's reminiscent of his good days in the Swans. Ball's thumped forward by Spalding. Kick quickly forward. Jarman, who really can't get into the game so far. Back to Mitchell. Onto Kudafides with that extra yard of pace. Kicks it long and low and goal. 7 goals to Carlton as the avalanche continues at Optus Oval.
Well, it's quite evident the way they had started Carlton. They had numbers at the ball. When a Hawthorn guy got the ball, he was tackled by 2 Carlton players, and that's usually indicative of a team that's really souped up and out for a game of football. Look at the numbers around here. Mitchell again gets the ball. Kudafides, who had excellent form early in the season, going in, and his first.
Well, a real fly now for the Blues. 7 goals to 2-1. Madden dominating the centre square, as is his team. Ratton was in there, free kick against Hawthorn. And it could be Mitchell, or is it Kudafides? Or Bradley? Let's have a look. Bradley's there. It's going to be Craig Bradley. First kick for him coming up. Just looking around. Now Kernahan leads. Bradley kicks it to him. He's got it.
That was a good mark because he's a big man to jump over Crochet on the second attempt. Kernahan, good effort.
Interesting there, Don Langford left behind and unable to come from the back to help Crochet. Kernahan, who had 1 shot for goal, a bit further out from this on the other side on an even tighter angle. He really should kick this. They're going well, the Blues. I think we're going to get the record books out. 8 goals in such a hurry to 2-1.
Well, that's his first. Stephen Kernahan, as we know, he's been out for a couple of weeks with injuries, but he certainly is a focal point up forward. And as Bruce mentioned, Langford a long way behind too, taking that mark over Crawshay. He's got the shoulder strap, Stephen, the right shoulder. Skin-coloured tape.
Already 6 goal kickers for Carlton in this first quarter, this blitzering first quarter with 10 goals from both teams. Madden's causing the damage. He really is pushing the ball forward. Mitchell's prepared to run onto it, and a free kick has been picked out and is going the way of Hawthorn, and he's actually going to Raiden Tallis.
Not a bad little player, Tallis. He really does put himself on the line as far as getting that ball is concerned.
Tallis out wide, unmarked is Taylor. And Taylor on the true centre wing. Not much value from the kick. Forces them to play this side then from the wing.
Oh, surely there's a free kick.
Bone in front. Mitchell in his brightest start for the game for some time. Forces the ball out along. 65 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. And once again, that wide play has just enabled Carlton backman to cover opposition forwards.
There's the free kick. Look, if you cannot tell me that's not holding the man.
Kudafidis loses the ball in the tackle. Off the ground, ends up with Dean. Dean with the gloves to Mitchell. Mitchell sells everyone the dummy and does it very well indeed. Back onto his left foot, into the Sporting direction, punched away by Holland. Ball comes to Cooper, caught. Fantastic knockback by Ratton, and we'll get the free kick for high ball. Camporelli over to Spalding. Spalding with a very clever kick. Kernahan almost. Terrific pressure from Langford, and Langford goes over to McGuinness, who has trouble picking it up. Falls to Pearce. Pearce onto the left foot, and it's kicked there. Night goal, would you believe it?
A long weekend of football starts with the Pies and St Kilda from the G. Next Friday night on 7 Sports.
So it doesn't look like Carlton supporters had all that much to worry about. There they are, 9-3 to Hawthorn's 2-1. Certainly on a roll in that first quarter. Will it continue in the second quarter? We find out as we go to the bounce.
Start of the second quarter at Princes Park. Carlton was sensational in the opening term. They kicked 9 goals to 2. Bill Hanna with 3, the outstanding player. Madden had a wonderful first term. Camporelli taken by Tallis. Tallis to full forward. Dunstall's first lead for the day. Good grab in the front spot. His first positive movement all day.
And McGuinness is off. McGuinness is off, and Jenky's gone down to the back pocket picking up Pearce.
Well, Don, it's an understatement to say that Hawthorn need it, but it will be a good start if he can kick this.
They were pretty crisp when they did go in forward, Bruce. I mean, Carlton had kicked 2 goals, and then Hawthorn came back very cleanly through Stevenson, but it's a good passage of play out of the centre.
Dunstall from 35 metres out, straight in front. He's kicked a goal.
And really, there'd be a lot of pressure on the captain in this situation. Dunstall, the captain, he really did have to kick it, finish off the work. Crawshay getting the favourable bounce, pushed it through, and there, Tallis. I'm impressed with this young fellow. He really does put himself in. Second-year player from the Eastern Rangers.
So Jason Dunstall with his first goal, and first goal of this second quarter, much needed from the Hawks.
And Daniel Harfer's on too, Malcolm. He's replaced McGuinness, and he's gone to the half-forward flank, number 15.
And Madden with a big fist forward, kicked back by the Hawthorn defence. Sexton, who's been very, very tight across half-back. Kernahan clever to Sullivan. Camporelli, support from Mitchell. Back to Sullivan on his favoured left foot. Centres the ball, only Hudson there. Well, unbelievably, doesn't quite go at it like he should have. Neither does Madden, but guess who's onto the ball now? Hanna in this purple start to the game, evades 1-2, and then kicks the ball out of bounds on the full when the third pressure from a Hawthorn player came.
It's like playing against Hawthorn. Hanna, he kicked 5 goals, 1 game last year. I think it was last year at Waverley.
Big jump from behind from Kudafidis. Nick Holland had a piece of it, but Kudafidis certainly hands on the football. Back on the wing today, very damaging early. Mike Place, Carlton players, is allowed to run and then kick Kernahan, who really wasn't chased by anybody. Langford some 30 metres behind him, unbelievably. And Stephen Kernahan already with 1 goal, 1 point and 1 miss. So he's got a full book in early in the second quarter.
Matthew Young coming on and Hudson going off, and you know why, because he only went with one hand, Hudson.
Yes, wasn't great play, Don. Not great confidence for the teammates around. Nevertheless, Stephen Kernahan with a kick. What a great kick. That's his second. And the Blues 10.
Yes, well, there's bad marking. I mean, they started well. They showed commitment, Hawthorn, in the second quarter from the bandstand. Dunstall scored, but look at this. This is unbelievable, isn't it? It's just unthinkable. Kernahan made them pay with his second goal.
Marks to Kernahan and a couple of goals. 10-3 to 3-1. Madden again. Jarman. Sexton. Camporelli winning his wing. O'Sullivan and Collins. O'Sullivan, a left footer, able to get around onto it. To Pearce. They're so smooth, Carlton and Shaw. At the moment, everything is working for them. Pearce, low one. Beautiful kick to Kernahan. Well, if he goes back and stumps this through, you reckon Hawthorn's spirit will be broken. It is very early, I know.
And the worrying signs there, Bruce, was that Collins, an experienced player, was led to the ball by O'Sullivan, and then Jenke was led to the ball by Pearce, and here's Langford being led to the ball by Kernahan. They're the experienced fellows in this Hawthorn side.
Kick from just inside 50, Kernahan. It's a good one. It's another one. Well, he's come back all right, hasn't he, Kernahan? He's taken 6 marks already.
It's a shocking feeling being a Hawthorn player out there at the moment. I experienced that back in about 1967 when Carlton kicked a record score against Hawthorn, which was an AFL or VFL record score at that stage, and it was here in Princes Park.
Was that the 30 goals 30, Don?
Yeah, well,
I remember that number. Yeah. Actually, interesting, the cheer squad, the Carlton cheer squad had our last fortnight is best forgotten. Let's beat the Hawks and knock them rotten. Well, heavens above, haven't they read that, the Carlton side? This is where it's all happened for them so far. In the middle of the ground, they've been very hard and committed. Camporelli's been set up out wide again. O'Sullivan reads it beautifully. Andy Collins listens to Don Scott, but unfortunately the ball floats over his head, and that's what happens sometimes. And the kick into Spalding, why not? Doesn't matter where the ball's going at the moment. A blue pair of hands is grabbing hold of it. And El Spalding, who kicked a 48-metre goal beautifully in the first quarter, is going to kick from about 51 metres this time. And good heavens, as this goes through, you can put down your glasses because it's a Blue Boys' day. The kick is on. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Stephen Kernahan will take the mark on the line. So we're saved. It's not all over yet. Kernahan with his 7th mark goes back for goal number 4 and his 3rd, seems like in as many minutes. Unbelievably, Carlton 12, Hawthorn 3.
Well, I suppose what comes of interest out of that is the way that Spalding lined up for goal. I criticised his kicking in the past, his accuracy when he was kicking for goal. But he only took a couple of steps this time, so obviously he thinks it's in his run-up or his approach to kicking the ball, because it was a very accurate kick from some 40 to 50 metres out by Spalding. Change has been made. Holland has now gone on to Kernahan. Langford's gone to centre-half back on Spalding.
Well, a remarkable sequence here. Kernahan doing a Hanna. 3 goals in about 4 or 5 minutes. In fact, 3 and 3, Kernahan. 12-3, 3-1. What a bath. Madden. Sexton, who's won the ball repeatedly in this quarter. Ratton. Kernahan goes again. Punched away by Holland. Young, who's just come onto the ground against the tide. Back to Woods. Woods to Cooper. Cooper goes long. Why not? Up to half forward. Taylor. Sexton. Runs away. Camporelli again. Gee, they've had a fair go on the wings.
Opponent.
Carlton. Camporelli keeps it in. It's got Mitchell all alone. Have a look at this. It's like a drill at the moment to Whitehead. Whitehead, Kernahan, can he get into the picture? Oh, bad
Cubs and the Crows go at it under lights at Football Park. Saturday night football on 7.
Crawshay, Madden again. Mitchell becoming a possession out of the middle of the ground. Holland at least commits himself in front. Good on you, son. Terrific stuff. And Spalding, I believe, will be grabbed high and get the free kick in the true centre-half forward position here at Carlton. In the goal square, Hanna leads. Guess who?
Well, watch Graham on the square. Hanna. Oh, come on, Mark. You've got to really tighten up. He just was too lax. He was in the square and Hanna just trotted away or ran away. Look how far he's behind.
Yes, he had to close down, but Millane Hanna, 4 goals. 3 in the first, 1 in this quarter so far. Unbelievably. Carlton just raining goals. Hanna kicks poorly and wobbles it through for a point, I'd suggest, off hands. And once again, at least Holland was there to contest with Kernahan.
17 shots to 4. Well, just no way back here, is there, for Hawthorn?
And there's not much the coach can do either, Bruce. I mean, there's not much code. It's not a case of moving players around. They're all down everywhere.
McGuinness caught.
That's a great tackle by Pearce. Everything's going their way. Their tackling's paying off for them. He's an impressive player, this kid.
Goes short, Hanna again. Front spot.
That's better.
Good punch from the back. McGuinness had one crack at it. Gee, Hawthorn unlucky there not to get one. Young's high ball to centre wing. Dean, Taylor, Christou should have given a free kick away. Bone, oh, Christou clever though. Was on his hands and knees a moment ago, then thumps it 60 metres to Spalding. It comes off hand. McGuinness concedes. Lucky for him, Holland was on the end of it, goes wide. And the boundary line with Pritchard and Camporelli. Camporelli's been tremendous early. He's had 6 kicks and 4 handballs.
Taylor's going, I think, up into the back line. Bruce, the Hawthorn runner, is out there. George Stone. And he's signalling and beckoning Taylor to come up the ground. Crawshay's going down into the forward pocket, so maybe they're just going to try and have a mobile ruckman running against Madden.
Gibson's handball. Collins have fitted the fumbles. Jarman, little give. Pritchard handballed it out. Got restrained, free kick, advantage given. Jarman out wide, gets to Langford. Langford will go to Dunstall. Dunstall fell over. Silvani works it to the line. It's close, it's still in at the moment. This is how well they're going. The defenders don't want it to go out. A brilliant play. McKay all runs too far. Yes, gone.
Yes, called that pretty well then, Chris. Safety first has always been a terrific policy that deep, but the confidence of Silvani then to run that ball back in was just unbelievable. But that's exactly how Carlton are playing. And here's Tony Woods with the ball, half forward flank, looks in the Dunstall direction.
Oh, there's a free kick.
Right.
Oh, he's paid to play on.
And then Christou mops up, tries to tap it out. It actually stays in again. Amazingly, that ball on that boundary line. Madden underneath it, does well to stand his ground. Over to Bone, hits the post. It's actually half it on for his first run. So the young Tour Cup captain from last year gets his first score in league footy, which is a point. Unfortunately for him and Hawthorn, actually hit the post.
Daniel Harford, the 18-year-old, as Malcolm said, first game. He won't forget this in a hurry. Hasn't been his fault, but it's 13-3. Silvani. Mitchell, here's a chance for the Hawks. Tallis at 50. Handball pretty good. Gets back to Stevenson, who's kicked 2 of the 3 goals. Dunstall sets himself, flies. Christou, they're conceding nothing. Short to Whitehead. They must be enjoying themselves, Carlton, today. The appetite for the footy will be so high at the moment. Okay, look at this to Matt, a panic.
Well, that's Taylor's man.
And go over the top to Ratney, does cute, that one. Now Spalding's on again with another cutesy. Kernahan will be on in the moment. Earl the Pearl, the Duke, the left foot, not bad. Point of the goal square. They set themselves and Dean's dropped down to take the mark.
Now, Dean trotted down with Taylor. Taylor was a loose man, and Dean just trotted down. There he is with the gloves. Bandage elbow.
It's a hard man, isn't he, Dean? He thought he might miss a game or two with injury. Clapet's off. Beaumont's on. Dean's got another one.
Well, they thought he had a leg injury, a broken leg to be precise, last week after the St Kilda game, but it just turned out to be a badly bruised leg. Here's Madden. Ratton from Yarra Glen. So that's where he started from. Yarra Valley. Spalding. He sets it up high, does it easily. Shows his class, Spalding. He's also a good cricketer, or was a good cricketer. And Peter Dean, also known as a good basketballer away from the football arena.
Yes, you know you're going well when your half-back line starts kicking goals, and Peter Dean manages to get the 14. Really has started here in the centre of the ground. Hawthorn work its way forward. Unfortunately, under pressure is Richard. Richard gets it out wide. Running player is Stevenson. Smothered from Dean. Picked up for a one-step kick from Jarman. Christou underneath it. Gibson falls over. Silvani's been very good at this. He really has been terrific on the ground. Mackay works his way through a couple of Hawthorn opponents, and Whitehead gets it and goes for the boundary line, and we'll see the free kick will be given downfield. Anthony Koutafidis will take it. Half-back flank for the Carlton side. Looks inside and Christou by himself. He has players everywhere, including Mackay, Sexton. They're all still on. It'll go to that player now in Sexton. Got a paddock in front of him. Misses Camperui and goes the longer one to Kernahan, and dropping back is Crawshay to fill in the hole. For the first time probably in this match we've seen the ball actually held up in front of Kernahan. Crawshay undecided. Now goes longish back to the middle. Big fly. Sexton unable to control it. The ball's kicked forward. Stevenson and Whitehead. Terrific tackle from Whitehead. Dispossesses the ball. Christou goes short. And out wide is Clapet, takes the mark, unattended half-back flank.
Camporelli from half-back to centre wing.
Good. Crawshay backed into it.
Cooper. Dean, well done. Kernahan, is it Pearce on the end of a beautiful play, Dean?
Gee, he's quick. He is exceptionally quick, this young man.
Another change for the Hawks, Don.
Randall Bone coming off, and Dean is following Crawshay and really putting the pressure. Now, Crawshay's supposed to be playing half-forward flank.
Dean kicked one in the opening term. That's a good kick, another one.
The Queen's birthday celebrations continue on Monday, only on 7 Sports.
On a roll, and unfortunately Hawthorn unable to put up much resistance there. 16-6, 102-5-4-34. The Blues led by 68 points, and incidentally that is the biggest half-time margin they've ever had over Hawthorn in the club's history. What would Peter Knights have said to them at half-time, we wonder, and would it have done any good? Let's have a look at some of the highlights from the second half.
Spalding and Pritchard. Spalding in the front spot. Taylor, Holland, O'Sullivan. The Rhino, a bounce. Goes for it now. Gives it everything and kicks it. Oh, wouldn't you love to measure the adrenaline pumping through those veins right now?
Yeah, those short kicks just occasionally don't catch you out, but it's modern footy, isn't it, at its best? Trying to open it up.
Post-possession football. And something does come out of it a lot of times too.
Madden picks the ball up, gives it away, goes to Stevenson. Stevenson has a shot, and I think has kicked his third from a very acute angle. Well done, son. Kicks the ball long. Really doesn't give Dunstall any chance at all. Very ordinary kick. Simon Minton kind of off the ground. He's missed a lot, but that one's okay.
Holding the footy, the umpire says, so Stevenson to get it.
Yes, looks out wide, delivers the ball beautifully to Taylor. Taylor to the run of McGuinness. McGuinness on his left foot, goes in towards Dunstall. Great mark, Dunstall. Kicks and has kicked truly. No noise down that end would suggest a goal. And it is.
Bradley's been one of the few Blue players who's been down. Small stats for him. Bit indecisive, chips away to Spalding. He's had a good game, Earl. On the left this time, straight to Mitchell. Holes everywhere. Playing his 7th game out of 10 for the year today, and he's kicked a goal. His 2nd.
The ball heads towards the boundary line. Running onto is Nick Collins, probably Hawthorn's best player. Now on the ball and in ruck. Kicks the ball back. Silvani in front. Dunstall from behind. Will he pay it? Oh.
It's interesting who got hands to it first.
So, Jason Dunstall, as Bruce mentioned before, hasn't had a lot of one-on-ones with Silvani, although Silvani has been very good. Lines up for his 3rd goal and has kicked it. 10 goals to Hawthorn. 74 points the margin.
Centering. Pearce probably the target here. Front spot Beaumont. Pritchard. Spalding takes it away. Koutafidis on the left. Kernahan in the front spot.
It's really the only space to be.
Five for Kernahan. No, misses that time. Back to Koutafidis. Plenty of Carlton players. O'Sullivan to Dean. Pearce in the pocket. Good work that time by Young. Spalding. Well played, Spalding. Handball back to Mitchell. Almost had his pants taken off. Short to Koutafidis. He's kicked 1 goal before this one. Got a 2nd. So it'll be O'Sullivan. He's going to bang it into Pearce. Well, he's kicked 4. If he kicks 5, it'll be over 100 points. That's what they're roaring for here. He's got it. They love it. Look at the flags and the roar around this ground. They're hungry, aren't they?
The 1995 AFL Premiership season. Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, McDonald's, Mobil, and Carlton Draft.
Carlton adding 10 goals in that second half at full time, 102 points ahead of poor old Hawthorn, and the leading goal kickers for the Blues, Kernahan, Hanna and Pearce, all booted 5 apiece. For the Hawks, it was Dunstall and Stevenson who each kicked 3. Let's have a look at Don Scott's Sports World vote, and he gave 3 to Ange Christou, 2 to Barry Mitchell and 1 to Andrew Mackay from Carlton. Progressively, Jakovic is up there on top on 12. Andrew Jarman and Scott Waters are 10 apiece, and Michael Long and Wayne Campbell are each on 9.
The 1995 AFL Premiership League ladder. Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
And Richmond are on top, 9 wins and 1 loss only. Geelong, Carlton, Essendon, West Coast, North Melbourne, Fremantle and Melbourne making up the 8 there. And then we go Adelaide and Hawthorn. They're just out of it this weekend. Next round, well, it gets underway on Friday night. A very big match there. Collingwood and St Kilda at the MCG after 4 quarters. On Saturday, we've got Essendon and Geelong at the MCG.